So every time I try to get away from these baggage fee videos, it seems like it keeps following me around. I have to do it because I just find that they're the most engaging. It adds the most value to people because this is a travel platform and you look at different things that you're interested in. This is one of the topics that will affect everybody who plans to travel, and so this is why I really need to keep doing it and just make sure that you have all the tools necessary. So as I was looking through the catalog of videos and I was looking at all the big guys that I've done and even the low fare airlines, I said, wow, something is missing, and that is Southwest Airlines. How come I don't have a video that's explaining the baggage fees just like I did with an American or a Delta? So let me get right on it. Let me stop everything what I'm doing and really jump on it. And the reason I say that is because things are opening up. You're gonna need all the information that's at your disposal, and so let me get on it. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is David Durain. Welcome to No Frontier. This is your platform when it comes to all things travel. Here on this platform, my job is to encourage people to get out there, to create their own experiences and to form their own opinions, because I know more exposure leads to expansion. And I will also encourage you guys to check my last video when I spoke about Hawaii and is it very expensive. And after that, why don't you go check out the other videos on the other airline baggage fees that I've already completed and explained. So Southwest. Before I get into Southwest, hold on right there. Why don't I give you guys a brief history on how baggage fees came about? Because some people are probably thinking, damn, I already bought my ticket. Now I gotta pay a separate fee for the bag, you know? And so I want to get into that to give you a better understanding, so when we get to Southwest, you'll understand automatically. Now, I did touch on this topic in previous videos that I've done, but just in case you haven't seen it, and I know you're gonna go look at it, but let me update you right now before we get into it. So around 2008, you know, the country was in bad shape, doing bad financially, and fuel costs were up. And airlines were looking at different ways, different income streams. And this is not new because low fare airlines were doing this already, where everything is an add-on. So you buy the ticket and everything, whether you're paying for a soda, a snack, a pillow, a blanket, a headset, everything seemed to be an add-on. That was their way of generating different money. So Delta came up with this idea too, hey, why don't we start charging for bags? And just as the industry norm was and is, when, especially the big guys, when one starts to do something and it's profitable, then they all sort of adapt the same thing. Just like when one of the big guys started to merge, the other two did the same. You know, Delta with Northwest, American with US Airways, United and Continental. So this is like the same deal. So Delta started charging and the other two big guys started to do the same. And that's where it really stemmed from, fuel costs and trying to supplement that money. And so now that everything went back to normal for the most case, they didn't reverse that. They didn't stop charging. That's just going to be a thing that I guess will roll out, is the new norm, if you will put it. So Southwest, like I said, I never got into it. So what exactly are their baggage policy? With Southwest, they're a little different. You can still, hear this, travel with 2 bags for free. I said that right. 2 check bags for free. So that means 2 bags. When you get to the ticket counter, give them the 2 bags, don't have to pay for it. That right there is easily a value of $60 to $120 and up. And when I say 60, some airlines charge you $30 per bag. With low fare airlines, depending on where you're going, that's how you figure out the cost of the bag. So easily you save on that right there. So 2 free bags. Now what happens when you go to the 3rd bag? Now I would say generally most people will stick with 2 bags. The 3rd bag, I think that will come about if maybe you carrying golf clubs or something large like that. That's when the 3rd bag comes along. Now if you have a 3rd bag, it's going to be 75 bucks. Now what happens if your bag exceeds the weight limit? Because even though the first 2 bags are free, you still have to keep it within weight, which it can't exceed 50 pounds. Now, if it's anywhere between 51 and 100 pounds, you have to pay $75 for it. If your bag exceeds 100 pounds, then you can no longer check it. You have to ship it as cargo. Now, I don't know what you'll be carrying that will make it exceed 100 pounds. Not that it's impossible, because people think that they can travel with anything. Now, there is an exception for one type of customer, and I'm not talking about any special program member or whatnot. For active military personnel, they don't have to stick to the 2-bag limit, you know, for free. As long as they don't exceed 100 pounds in weight, they can take more than 2 for free. So shout out to them and thank those men and women for their service. Now let's talk liability from the airline standpoint, because I really don't touch that. If you're flying with the airline, obviously for the time frame that is checked, it's their responsibility to make sure that it shows up to your destination, that it's mostly in the same condition that they gave you, not little scratches, because that will happen during the loading process, but it is their responsibility for that time frame. So the maximum money that they can pay out to you is $3,800, right? So after there's an issue, whether your bag is lost or not, obviously you put in a claim, you let them know what was in your bag, and then they will determine what the bag was worth. After you list all the items were there, this is when you can put proof as to what you had in the bag, if you have any receipts or whatnot. There's this whole investigation process and whatnot, but that is the most that they can pay out to you. Also, if you have a claim to make sure you do it as soon as possible. It can't exceed over 4 hours, which is a great point, because, you know, after people are away from the airport, or as time go on, you don't know the condition, or people can say anything. So the sooner the better. You know, the best thing to do is, and I believe the reason why they give you 4 hours and not like an hour and a half, is just in case you have to drive somewhere, maybe an hour or 2 away, or you have to rent a car. And if you arrive at your hotel and then you open it, it gives you time to see the condition of your bag, because people generally fly to the nearest airport. So give or take, I don't know, 2 hours to drive to your destination. It gives you time to open up your bag and see the condition of the items. The moment you see that there's an issue, don't prolong it. Contact the airline so you can get your claim on the way. Another thing I'll speak on that I've never spoken about is curbside checking in, right? So Southwest still does this, and Delta does this at my airport, where they'll let you check your bags at the curb. Now, what you have to do is you have to make sure that the bag is with them at least before 45 minutes of the whole check-in process. You don't, because what will happen is you don't want them to put a late tag on your bag. What happens with a late tag is they will do their best in order to get your bag on the plane, but because it's so close to the time, they can't guarantee that your bag will get on the plane. I already mentioned before, these are large planes that if each customer brings 2, maybe 3 bags, there's a lot of loading that has to take place. They have other planes that they have on the ground as well. So there's a lot of moving around. So the earlier you can check in, the better chances you will have in order for your bag to make it. Now, if your bag has this late tag on it, when you arrive at your location, just in case your bag is not on this plane, it takes the responsibility off the airline, because it showed that, hey, you didn't check in time. We were busy. We did our best to try to get it on, but we didn't have the opportunity, and we're not taking a delay for your late bag. So obviously everyone knows that when you're about to fly out, give yourself some extra time. This way you can check in, go to security, just make sure everything is good. It's better to wait at the gate than rush and these things happen. All right, guys, so thank you for watching the channel. Thank you to all the new and old supporters, and do watch those videos that I've just uploaded on Hawaii. Until next time, of course, I'm global. I'm David Orang, and this is No Frontier. See you.